The Japanese wealth-building secret that creates millionaires without high salaries. There's a reason Japan produces financially independent families at rates that shock Western economists. It's not because salaries there are dramatically higher. In fact, average incomes in Japan often lag behind other developed nations. And yet, Japanese families build wealth, protect assets, and achieve financial freedom in ways that seem almost impossible in consumer-driven Western economies. The secret isn't extreme deprivation. The secret is a wealth protocol, simple, proven, and devastatingly effective. In Japan, there's a powerful concept called Kakeibo. Roughly translated, it means wealth ledger. But it's not a spreadsheet, it's not an app, it's not about obsessive penny counting. Kakeibo is built around one life-changing question. Do I really need this, and what financial freedom am I sacrificing? That question alone transforms your entire financial destiny. Most people try to build wealth by fighting themselves. They rely on willpower, guilt, and restriction. They tell themselves, I shouldn't hemorrhage cash, feel terrible when they do, then destroy their budget anyway because financial anxiety wins. Kakeibo flips the entire system. Instead of starting with cash hemorrhaging, it starts with wealth intention. In the Japanese wealth system, assets are allocated mentally before the month even begins. Capital for necessities, investment in culture and quality of life, discretionary spending allowance, wealth accumulation fund. But here's the game-changing difference. Wealth building is prioritized first, not after bills, not if there's cash left over, first. The amount doesn't need to be impressive. What matters is that asset accumulation is treated as a non-negotiable wealth decision, not a hopeful outcome. In most Western cultures, building wealth is what you do if life goes perfectly that month. In the Japanese millionaire approach, wealth building is part of survival, just like eating or breathing. Now comes the most powerful wealth protocol. Before hemorrhaging cash on anything non-essential, you pause and ask these 4 devastating questions. Can I survive without this? Will this truly create lasting value in my life? Do I already own something similar? What financial freedom am I destroying if I buy this now? This strategic checkpoint is the secret. It transforms spending from an emotional impulse into a conscious wealth decision. Most financial self-sabotage dies right here, not because of superhuman discipline, but because awareness kills consumer urgency. In Japan, this checkpoint is respected culturally. Buying less is not seen as deprivation, it's seen as financial intelligence. Repairing is respected, reusing is normalized, delaying is brilliant. Contrast that with modern consumer manipulation, where impulse is weaponized. Buy now, limited offer, one click, treat yourself. The faster you can hemorrhage cash, the more profitable you are to someone else's wealth. The Japanese millionaire strategy slows everything down, and slowing down is devastatingly powerful. Because most financial crises aren't math problems, they're impulse-controlled disasters. If you delay spending long enough, your emotions settle, and financial logic returns. Another critical principle is wealth visibility. Traditional Kakeibo is written by hand, not because paper is magical, but because writing forces financial awareness. Digital spending is painless. Painless cash hemorrhaging is financially dangerous. This doesn't mean you must use a journal. It means your wealth-building system must make spending emotionally felt, not invisible. And finally, the Japanese millionaire approach doesn't aim for perfection, it aims for financial respect. Respect for capital, respect for effort, respect for your future financially free self. Wealth building isn't framed as deprivation, it's framed as self-protection. Protection against financial emergencies, protection for economic security, protection for financial peace. And that millionaire mindset is why this strategy works so devastatingly well, even for people who don't earn six figures.
To implement the Japanese wealth-building strategy in modern life, you don't need to copy the tradition perfectly. You need to copy the millionaire logic behind it. Here's how to transform it into a wealth system that works anywhere. Step 1. Prioritize asset accumulation before the month begins, not at the end, not if cash remains. Before the month starts, you commit to an amount. Even small amounts build wealth, and you protect it fiercely. Even 20 or 50 euros compounds into financial freedom. What matters is that wealth building is a strategic decision, not a hopeful leftover. This alone puts you ahead of 90% of financially struggling people. Step 2. Separate capital physically or digitally. Have a wealth-building account or investment vault that is completely disconnected from your spending access. If your wealth fund sits next to your spending money, cash hemorrhaging will eventually destroy it. In Japan, capital separation creates financial respect. Money with a designated purpose is protected from impulse destruction. Step 3. Use the 4-question wealth checkpoint for all discretionary spending. Before hemorrhaging cash on anything optional, pause and ask, can I survive without this? Will this truly create lasting value in my life? Do I already own something similar? What financial goal am I destroying if I buy this now? You don't need to reject every purchase, you just need to evaluate every purchase. Most financial self-sabotage disappears once the strategic checkpoint exists. Step 4. Make cash flow devastatingly visible. You don't need to handwrite everything, but you do need weekly financial audits. Once a week for 10 focused minutes, review your cash outflow, identify purchases driven by emotional impulse, and recognize wealth-destroying patterns without self-judgment. The goal is not guilt. The goal is wealth awareness. Awareness creates behavioral transformation automatically. Step 5. Redefine quality of life. The Japanese millionaire strategy does not eliminate enjoyment. It separates meaningful experiences from mindless consumer manipulation. Planned enjoyment is encouraged. Random emotional cash hemorrhaging is questioned. So instead of banning pleasure, you strategically schedule it. One premium meal experience per week. One planned quality purchase per month. One experience you genuinely value. This eliminates the destructive binge-spend cycle while maintaining life satisfaction. Step 6. Respect capital, don't fear it. In the Japanese millionaire mindset, money is not an enemy or a dangerous temptation. It's a wealth-building resource to be managed strategically. Fear creates financial avoidance. Avoidance creates economic chaos. Respect creates wealth consistency. Now, here's the most transformative insight. The Japanese wealth protocol works because it transforms your financial identity. You stop being someone who tries to save. You become someone who makes strategic wealth decisions before spending. That identity transformation is everything. You're no longer reacting to advertising manipulation, emotional impulses, or social pressure. You're responding based on values and long-term wealth building. And once that shift happens, asset accumulation becomes natural, not torturous. The shocking truth is this: the strategy is simple. The strategy is unsexy, and that's exactly why it creates millionaires. Most people are chasing clever financial hacks. The Japanese millionaire approach relies on calm strategy, delayed gratification, and respect for future financial freedom. If you implement this protocol consistently, you won't just accumulate more wealth. You'll feel more financially empowered, less financially anxious, less reactive to consumer manipulation. Because real financial power doesn't come from earning six figures alone. It comes from slowing down impulses, deciding strategically early, and honoring your financially free future self before the consumer economy demands you spend. That's the real millionaire secret.